Good morning, fire breathers. Happy Thursday. This is just going to be a talk through. So if you want to go ahead and put it down and just listen, go about doing whatever you're doing now, driving, laundry, whatever the case, stretching, warming up, if you listen to this while you're getting ready to work out. So, yeah, because I'm just not going to demonstrate anything today. So we're going to start with the home track, home, for 2019 06 06 6619, yay. You just have running today, you have repeats. So if you've been following along for a while, we did this a month and a half ago maybe, and pretty sure probably at least a time before that. If you're new to the program and you're like, this isn't what I signed up for, I already run, or this, that, or the other, just again, keep in mind that I take the approach of I throw everything into the mix. So even with the home workouts, I do or sort of go off of the hopper style. Like if all these body weight activities, all the cardio options, everything's in there, everything is available as an option. So running is something that you absolutely don't need any equipment for, and it's cardio. And again, love the body weight stuff. Strength is important, we need it. We also need to keep our hearts healthy. So a couple different approaches I want you to take to this. So you do not need a track. If you have access to a track, you know, your local public school is out for the year and you can use their track. That's open to the community. If you have a rec center and you want to use the track indoor or outdoor, by all means do so. Yours truly gets terrible, horrible flashbacks to middle school and being out of shape and the heavy girl and not being able to run and getting made fun of. So I hate tracks and I do not use them. So, but if you have one, want to use it, use it. You can use a treadmill or you can run outside. So, and there's a couple different ways that you can do this outside, right? So if you're using home as a reference, measure out one time what's 400 meters out and then turn around and come back home. And then you just do that for the amount of times that it calls for. So just doing out and backs. If you want to run 800 meters in one direction, stop, take your rest, run 800 meters out, stop, take your rest. You can do that as well. Just totally up to you. What's your situation and scenario? How do you scale this? So lots of different options. Again, I am a huge proponent of you need to be moving your body forward. So if it's a run that's relative to you, so it feels like a jog, it's a speed walk, that is cool. If you're going to be speed walking through this program and you're working your way up to running, do that. Please do that. That's great. I would rather have you move your body for the amount of time and distance that it calls for and then improve upon that time than anything else. But if you need to scale the distance down, absolutely do so. If you need to scale the number of repeats down, do so. So maybe only do 3, maybe only do 2, at least do 2. Don't do just 1, but you can always scale that down as an option. And again, distance, so you can keep the number of repeats, but maybe do 400s or do 600s even, something that's a little bit shorter. Your time is not total time. So your score is how long did it take you to run all your repeats, add that up. Okay, so that's that. Enjoy. If you have any questions about the warm-up, let me know. I think the only new movement in there is the broad jumps. So just again, try to land your broad jumps in a good stable position. Do a warm-up jog, see how it feels. If you need to do the warm-up again, that's fine. Or if you need to stretch, foam roll, do that as well. Okay, moving on at the 5-minute mark to gym track. Gym, you have percentage front squats. If you do not have an accurate 1 rep max front squat, so if you're new to the program or you don't have that number, I want you to work up to a heavy 2, not a 2 rep max. So we are not failing this today. I'm going to say that again for those in the back. This is not a 2 rep max. We are not failing a lift. So go based off of feel. If you don't have a percentage, go heavy, but know that you're finishing with more left in the tank. Okay. And if you have percentages, again, stick to your percentage. Please trust the program. Don't max out on a 2 rep today. But your score is your heaviest, so that last set, what you did there. Then you're immediately going into a power snatch and overhead squat complex. I broke down the way that I have it written, so hopefully that makes sense. If not, let me know. Hands on the barbell, so power snatch, lock it in, overhead squat, overhead squat. Get as heavy as you can with those. Take as much rest as you need. Yes, and then your Metcons today, Fitful. This is one of our AMRAP repeats-ish where the numbers and the weights change. So we're sticking with the overhead squats, not from the rack. So power snatch, clean and jerk, get it up overhead, lock it in. Squat snatch, power snatch your first one, but lock it in all the way down, all the way up for the number of reps at that weight that it calls for. Then you have lateral burpees over the rower. And then max calorie row. Your score for this Metcon is the total amount of calories that you row across the 4 rounds. So if you don't make it to the calories, you just get a 0 for that round, and then hopefully you can push the pace on the next one and get some calories. Your reps go down, the weight on the barbell goes up. So just get your mind right with that. They're smallish jumps, manageable. So, you know, get your mind right, lock it in. Get those burpees just done and out of the way. Remember, 1 calorie on the rower is better than none. So that being said, how do you scale this workout? If you cannot do overhead squats at all, you can sub in front squats and then try to stick to that weight there. If you can do overhead squats, but you're looking at that last weight on that barbell and that's not in your wheelhouse or your work capacity, I want you to scale that weight, but then scale all the other weights accordingly. So you're starting at a light weight and increasing every round. So at no point are you ever doing the same weight for 2 rounds. So look at that bottom weight. Is that too heavy? What's the heaviest that you can do for a Metcon? Start there, take off 10 or 5 pounds and go backwards. If you need to start with the empty barbell, a training bar, or a PVC, absolutely do so, okay? So again, you can scale the weight or scale the movements. If you can't do burpees over the rower, rowers are a little bit higher than when we do them over a barbell. You can scale that to doing burpees over the barbell, and you can also scale it by not 2-foot hop and land. You can step over, just that's a scaled score. Fine, it's going to suck. Still, remember, scaling is not a crime. Scaling workouts still get you fitter, and that's the goal. And then if you have time, or if you're not looking to do that sort of Metcon, your other Metcon today is actually a home workout that I had programmed back in December when I was practicing, playing around with this. So this workout is called Home 2018-12-05. And it's sort of a fun one. So your score for this is your total time, and I'll explain why in a second. You're doing 10 minutes of your choice of cardio for distance. So How far can you go in 10 minutes? Make note of that, jot it down if you need to. And then we'll talk about why. I'm sorry, my back's bothering me today. I keep stretching. You're gonna rest 3 minutes. And then whatever distance it was that you just did in that 10 minutes, you're going to do that distance for time. So the reason that your score is for time is that everybody, everyone here, regardless of how far you end up going in that 10 minutes, you're all starting at 13 minutes. And then at 13 minutes, it's then for time. So nobody's workout is going to be less than, 20 minutes for this one. Yeah, probably no more less than 25. So that being said, there is a little bit of a caveat to this because obviously total time, fastest time is going to win. However, what I will be looking at, what you need to be looking at is, did you or did you not sandbag that first 10 minutes? So you don't want to sprint and completely die, right? 10 minutes is a long time to sprint. But you want to push the pace. You want to finish that 10 minutes going, okay, that was good. And then at that 3-minute mark after your rest, turning around and doing that distance as fast as possible. It will absolutely take you less than 10 minutes. Just psychologically, that's the difference between an AMRAP and doing a number for time. I could get more into that, probably in a blog post would be a good idea. So just that's the goal, but you also don't want to have whatever distance you did in the 10 minutes only be completed in 5. That means you sandbagged. That's not what we're going for. So push the pace on that 10-minute mark, and if the distance ends up taking you more than 10 minutes the second time around, that's also perfectly okay. What that means is that you did really push the pace on the 10-minute mark, and maybe you're somebody who is better at AMRAPing than it is psychologically getting through that finish line work. So, but that's that. Now, again, your choice on what cardio you're doing here. So you can run, and an easy way to do this, right, without necessarily maybe measuring your distance, is start at a location, set your timer for 10 minutes, and just run in one direction until your timer's up. Rest, and then turn around and come back. And how long can you get back to the start? How long does that take you? So that's one way to do it. The other way to do it, if you don't want to physically run and then turn around and then run back, is pick your choice of equipment, and then you will need to jot down your meters and then go. So say in 10 minutes you row, 2,108 meters. You're then rowing 2,108 meters after your 3 minutes of rest. If you row, ski, bike, I would recommend during your 3 minutes of rest, setting that exact distance on your machine. And then that way you don't have to worry about keeping an eye on, okay, when am I hitting that exact meter? Your machine will tell you that. So yeah, that's just a straight up cardio piece and make it a little bit more interesting than cardio. And that's everything for today. Hit up your warm-ups and your cool-downs as needed. Remember, you can always use those as accessory work. Stretch with them, enjoy, take care of your body. It's working very hard for you, so treat it well. And yeah, Dracaris. Thanks for listening, guys.